Warning, this video is only for 14 and up, and if you're under, please leave this video because I will not be accused of something I don't want to be accused of. Please, if you're under, leave the video. Stories go through the air. You can listen and you cannot. But stories are here to help. Understand what is right and what is wrong. But sometimes stories can do the opposite. There's no right or wrong. You have to form your own opinion. But that is not what you're here for. You're here to listen to this silly little god of this channel. Listens to his mind going on about his stories, about the different worlds where he's traveling to, and where he can make some small different in a timeline. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everybody, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys will enjoy my video and let's begin. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. Sorry if I'm sounding very tired because I am. It's very late at night when I'm starting to record this. So if a video comes out beforehand in this week, that is not the actual weekly video. This is the video that's supposed to be in the middle, but I'm just fucking tired today. So I'm sorry. This will come out a little too late than usual. Anyways, we are still continuing. What if Belle Cranel was a Sheikah? I hope you guys will enjoy this video, and let's begin. We start up this episode by Ice's point of view. We see Ice waking up after coming over to Belle and Ryu's place and telling them their goddess is staying over at the Loki Familia home for tonight. But it was kinda getting too late when she left that everyone realized in her home and where Belle and Ryu live that she will be staying over for tonight. So Ice has been staying over at the Starlight Garden for 2 days in a row now. So after waking up, Ice went down to the kitchen where she saw Belle and Ryu starting to make breakfast. This time it was not eggs and bacons, it was rice, some Japanese kind of morning food that Belle was making for Ryu and Ice. Sorry if you can hear that, I'm opening a soda. So Belle was making the food for Ice and Ryu for the morning so Belle could remind himself making some food at his homeland. So after Belle got done, he greeted Ice that came down from the upstairs and put a plate in front of Ice and Ryu and himself. All of them talked about some random stuff when Ice informed them about something. You know that Monstophilia is coming up, Belle. Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? It's a taming event from the Ganesha Familia. Taming event. Sounds interesting. It is. Maybe I'll go. How many days? Well, the gods meaning, ball happened yesterday. So probably 2 days? 3 days? Hmm. That sounds... Probably, yeah, that sounds normal. Bell says as he finished his food and grabbed the dishes from, well, Ice and Ryu. So, have any plans, Ice? Yes, going to the dungeon and paying off repairs for my sword. Yeah, that makes sense. How about you, Ryu? I'm going to the hostess to, well, to help out for a little while. I have nothing much to do today. Huh. Yeah, that is making sense. Should be stocking up some potion. And checking out some place to get some more armor. I forgot if if Aina did tell Belle where the item shop was. I think she did. So Belle will, if she didn't, she has. So Belle will check out the item shops and everything else above in Babel. Belle got the dishes done and Ice grabbed her stuff from the room she slept in and left the Starlight Manor with a thank you for Ryu and Belle. After that, Belle and Ryu sparred a little in the morning to get their, well, moving their bodies and everything else. Jesus Christ. Okay, I need to stop. I'm getting really tired. So, see you in a second. Alright, everybody, I am back, and I am sorry if this video got, posted little too late. I had a lot to do today. So, Belle and Ryu were sparring in the backyard of their mansion, getting some sparring and moving their bodies so they can, well, get some exercise in. Belle, after, well, doing his sparring session and Ryu leaving for the hostess of facility, Belle left towards the Babel Tower to get a new pair or a pair of armor sets that's more dungeon set, so he can upgrade that. Putting his cloak on and his armor pieces being his shoulder guards, his armor underneath his sides, under his armpits, and his shin guards. Belle left for the, like I said, the Babel Tower of Aurario, arriving there after some few minutes going up to the rookie session. Belle thought he could go a little more up, but he is still a new level 1, so he's still, his stats needs to go up, and if he gets more better armor, he will be weaker in stats. After walking around for a few moments, Belle found a few armor shops he went by and looked into some of them, but a lot of them didn't work for him. Some of the armor sets were full-plated armor that couldn't allow him to move around and anything else. Belle walked into another pair of armor shop where a red-haired man was arguing with a man at the counter. Belle ignored them and walked, well, around the store, and after 5 minutes of being there, the red-haired man left the shop. Belle walked around in the back when he found a smaller box than usual and walked back to it, looking at the one and seeing some few armor pieces that looks more movable. Picking up some armor sets and putting it on, well, putting a wrist armor set on his, a forearm armor set on him, and a armor glove on him. Or he took the set and looked at them. It's the regular set he gets in the canon version, but some few things will be removed from that set. Bell, seeing it and looking at it and seeing the name of the smith being Wolf Croso, Bell put the armor set in the box and brought it to the counter. I want to buy this set. Are you sure, kid? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, funny thing, the red-haired guy that was in here earlier was the one that made this armor set. Really? Yeah, it is. Funny thing. That is funny. Bell says as he got the armor from the guy. Sorry. Bell walks out of... Sorry. Bell walks out of Babel Tower and walks down the street with the box on his shoulder. Figuring out what to put on and what not to. Sorry, I need to find the armor set. I need to find the armor set of Bell Cranel. Nope, that is his recent version. What the fuck is this? New character artwork. Sorry. Yeah, that can work. So it's shoulder guards, shoulder pads, chest plate, knee guards. Yeah, that could probably work. After Bell got back home and noticing that he's actually pretty much alone, Hestia must still be at the Loki familiar home. Bell put down the box and took out the armor pieces of Bell. Took the armor pieces out of the box so Bell can look at it. Seeing that he got knee pads, a forearm protector, and an elbow protector as well, with a some armor pieces for his shoulder, some for his chest and near his neck, and some of it on his sides, and two to his knees. Bell checked it all out, and seeing that he could actually use maybe all of the item except for the shoulder pads would be kind of awkward with his movements. Seeing more and looking around it, Bell took out the gear and put it on himself. Taking out the knee guards first to check if his calf armor is gonna block the movement off his knee guards. Putting them on and moving around the training yard he was in. Moving up and down, jumping around, and moving side to side in complex movements. The knee guards was holding up very good and was not blocking anything from his shin guards. Bell, seeing this, nodded at the choice of armor pieces and then took out the armor pieces for his belt, where a sword and items could be. I need a clear set. Or belt. Yep. Okay, I got a clear one. Bell took out a belt that has some few armor pieces on the side of him. One, he can actually check if the length of his sword can fit in the sheath. What Bell could see, it could kind of fit. Sorry, I'm just checking out how long that sword is. It's quite smaller than the usual swords in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, so it's quite short. It's not long enough. So yeah, I believe the sword that Bell is holding in the picture right now could actually fit in Bell's knife pocket, or he could fit the knife or his short sword into his belt, where his Minotaur knife was in the original canon. Bell puts his sword from the back on the back of where his sword was on his back. He puts it on this side under the armor set, so it wouldn't be cut off or anything else. Bell, taking out the arm guards this time and putting them on, moved around again with them. Alright, sorry about that. Bell taking out the arm, or the forearm protector, and the palms and the back, and the armor set for the back of the hand. I can see in the armor set of the Sheikah that there is an armor piece there, so Bell didn't put that on his at all. So he only took the armor piece for his forearm, so he could protect that, and started to move around with it. It kinda had some few problems, but it was not that concerning. He can probably modify it on his own times to fix it, but it was not a huge problem at all. Bell, taking out the shoulder pads, looked at his armor set with the shoulders and put the shoulder armor set, or pieces back. That was just for extra. The pieces he doesn't use is if his Sheikah set gets destroyed or anything else. Bell, putting the armor pieces back, took out the chest plate and the armor set to almost protect his neck. Putting them on and started to move around, he couldn't feel anything uncomfortable for right now. So moving around side to side and jumping up and down, Bell could not feel anything wrong with the chest piece or the neck protector he got on. Seeing himself, walking inside with the box and putting the rest of the 4 pieces away, Bell puts on a bag on his back that was his Sheikah colors, and looked at himself in the mirror. Seeing himself in the armor set that has, these colors doesn't mix. Bell says, looking at the set he got, I think I need to repaint this. Bell took the armor set off, even his Sheikah ones, and put on his civilian outfit this time. Walking out and walking down the street, he didn't know where to actually go, so he went towards the place where he can get some information. A few minutes later, you're looking for paint. No, sorry. You're looking for paint for your armor set. Ryu says as she looks at Belle that was sitting at the bar of the Hostess of Fertility. Yeah, I'm looking for that. Did you find an armor piece set? Or armor set? Yeah, but it's red and white. It fits your hair. Yeah, but it doesn't fit the stealth kind of bit. Oh, I see what's wrong now. Yes, there is a shop about that. It's not in Babel, don't worry about it. It's a small shop that a lot of people use when they have to repaint their armor. And where Smith actually goes to get some paint for the armor set they got. Really? Yeah, it's... Ryu write down the where to go, and Belle took it and some food on the way. That he got a grilled meat on a spear and took it with him. Sorry. Belle took the grilled meat he bought from the Hostess of Fertility with him and was walking down the street when he bumps into, well, someone. Okay, I'm sorry about... Oh. Belle looked up to see the Tyone, Tyona, Lufia, and Eyes in front of him. Oh. Hey, girls. Oh, you're the ninja guy. It's... Fuck. I think I said Belle Cranel. No, it's Belle Shigomi. Belle looked at her and said, it's Belle Shigomi, but you can call me Belle. Okay, ninja guy. Okay, you're still gonna call me that. Anyways, what are you doing? The girls wanted to pick out some few outfits for me. I said as she points at her friends. Oh, a outfit? My though. Oh, in a few days that is Monstophilia. Oh yeah, Ice told me about it. A monster taming event. Yeah. That do sound interesting. But, not for me. Belle says as she waves the paper of the, well, location of the shop. Ooh, what do you got there? Oh, I need to find a paint shop for my armor set. You got armor? But I thought you already had some. Tyona says as she walks forward. Belle doesn't notice, but Eyes and the other girls do. Well, yeah, I do have armor, but I had to get some new, well, get an armor set that actually helped me protect me more. I can't just go around with just cloth protecting me. That's not good protection. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, see you girls later. I have to go. Belle says as she walks forward and away from the others. Wait, you're just leaving? Yeah, I have stuff to do, and I just ran into you guys. See you later. Belle says as he walks away from the group, shocking almost everyone than Eyes. He didn't notice. What are you talking about? I got closer to him. Very close, but he didn't even notice. Belle was walking away when he just... Was she trying to seduce me or something? Because that was kind of weak. Bell thought as he walked away from the group. After some few minutes of getting the material for painting his armor set, Bell walks back to his familiar home and walked into the doors, spotting Hylia or Hestia. Sorry if you can hear that. I'm taking my chair back. I need to sit down properly, not just on the ground. He saw his goddess Hylia, or like I said, Hestia, sitting on the couch reading a book she got about some few stuff. Oh, hello, Belle. Oh, hello, goddess. You're back? How did your night go? Oh, it was wonderful. And the Loki family is quite kind to me. The girls were very happy for Loki to have a partner. Really? Yes, Loki was kind of a pervert to them. Luckily for me, I don't want to hear it, goddess. Belle cut Hylia from talking even more. Hylia just giggled at, Belle's reaction. What are you doing, by the way? Belle took out the armor pieces he's gonna use for his armor set and put it on the table with a cloth that could be painted on. Just repainting some few things. Belle pulled out the armor set he got and put it on the table. I found this armor set that I like, but it's wide and it doesn't fit my outfit at all. I see, so you're repainting it in your colors. Yeah, I am. Belle took the kneecaps for the armor for his kneecaps and started to paint it brown with gold outlining. Belle? Yes, goddess? Can we talk? I have a feeling that it's time for me to ask why you came here. Belle stopped for a moment after, almost disturbing the paint of the brown with the gold color he was coloring in. And, what is that, goddess? Belle? What happened to you in Hyrule for you to leave the kingdom and your duties to the princess? Belle stood there for a moment and then looked at Hestia. Please don't judge me or anything else. Hestia walked over to Belle and sat beside him when he put down the pencil of the paint. I won't. Even how terrible it's gonna be. You're one of my children. Belle sighed and started to talk. We see from the outside of the house that Belle was sitting, leaning over the table with Hestia putting her arm around his shoulders. We skip a few days ahead. I know, I'm sorry for that little tease about what's gonna happen. It's been a couple of days since Belle has had the talk with Hylia, and it has helped him sometimes. Belle has, started to talk to Hestia about his trauma of what happened that day, and started to heal slowly and more thoroughly than he was used to doing. Right now, Belle is coming out of the dungeon with his new armor set on. His new armor set is the usual colors of brown, as you can see, brown in the inside and gold colors on the outside. And where the red line is supposed to go, Belle has painted gold inside of it. And on the chest, instead of, well, being brown and gold, Belle has put in the Sheikah eye in red coloring. So that was engraved into it. Belle was walking up the stairs when he sees a box being lifting up from the ground. Oh, so that's how they get the monsters out of the dungeon. Belle says as he looks at the box, where he can see it moving around and shaking a little. Belle walks forward and out of the dungeon when he returns back to his familiar home. I'm back. Well, after coming out of the dungeon, he of course goes to the guild and gets the money for his contribution. And right now, Belle is on level 8, 9, floor 8 and 9. So he's on floor 8 and 9 right now, going through it as best as he can, and remembering the paths. After doing all of that, Belle, like I said, came out of the dungeon, went to the guild, and converted his drop items and his crystals to Valis. After coming back to his home, he puts the Valis on the table and puts the Valis he earned towards, well, put it on his, he put, like, Belle got around 10% of what he earned, and get the other 90% into the bank account of the Hestia, or Hylia Familia. Sorry about that. And of course, because of Belle not having the knife, they don't have to pay anything to Hephaestus, but they still have to do some few deals with Freya. After Belle came back, he walks into the door and went up to his room to get off his armor and everything else. Belle walks down the hallway and, with some few items in his hands, walks down below and was walking down the hallway when he spotted Ryu at the table. Well, the kitchen table right now, not at the dining room. There it is. She was not in the dining room, she was in the kitchen making some few things. Oh, hey Ryu. Oh, hello Belle. Do you know where the goddess is? Because I need to take a bath. Ah, yes, she is right now. I think she's in the garden right now. Really? I didn't see her. Oh, behind. Belle put the stuff that he needs to take a shower or the bath, and walks outside to see, well, yeah, Hestia was there. Or Hylia was there. Doing some few gardening in the backyard. Hello, Hylia. Hello, Goddess Hylia, I'm back. Belle yells to Hylia that when she turns around, waved at Belle. Hello, Belle. Belle nodded and went back inside to shower a little. After coming out, Hylia was in the kitchen, well, making sure that the few things she got from the garden, being some few tomatoes she planted around I will say a month, 2 weeks ago. No, the plants won't grow that fast. Hestia was just checking up on the flowers. Hestia, well, washing some few tomatoes and potatoes she got from the market, cleaned them up and smiled at Belle. How did it go today? That got around 18,000 valas in today, so I got my 10% of it. That is great, Belle. Belle smiled and nodded at this. Sitting down at the table, Belle looked at Hylia. You seem awfully happy today, goddess. Oh, yes, I am going on a second date tomorrow. I am going on a date with Loki tomorrow. Oh, you are? Well, I hope you two have fun, though. Yes, we're gonna have a lot of fun at Monstephilia. But there are some few things I need to take care of. Do you need an escort for that? After that, I can leave. No. Don't worry. You don't need to escort me or anything else. Hylia smiled at Belle when he just nodded at it. I just have some few last favors to get rid of. Another one is coming up? Yes, but this is more different kind. I don't want to assassinate anyone. Don't worry, you're not gonna do any assassins while killing. I did tell Freya about that. Good. Belle says as he went into the living room and, well, just started to read the newspaper. After just being there for a few moments, Belle sighed and went up to his room and grabbed grabbed a notebook he has gotten after some few days. Belle sat outside the garden and started to draw in it, because of Hestia recommended it to him, of him drawing what he can see or what he wanted to imagine. And it has calmed Belle down for some time now. Sighing and looking up from the notebook and the bench that was near the training area, Belle looked up to the sky and... I hope they got my message, Belle says as he looks down at his drawing again. The next day came around and Belle was walking through the festival, Monstephilia at this point. Belle was kind of excited to see a festival that he hasn't seen for a couple of months now. After leaving Hyrule and the festivals that was there, Belle has done a lot of things that, he has not, After leaving Hyrule, he didn't do a lot of festivals he came around. He stayed for a little while to check it out before he had to leave. But walking around and walking past the hostess of fertility, he heard someone calling out to him.
Hello, Mr. White-Haired Rabbit.
Belle turned around to see a cat girl standing outside of the hostess of fertility, this being Anya. Oh, Anya. Hello there. Belle walks up and stood in front of her. How can I help you? Anya put a purse in Belle's hand and started to speak.
Can you deliver this to that clumsy steer? She has forgotten her purse after running off to Monstephilia.
So you want me to deliver Sear's purse?
Yes.
And why couldn't Ryu? Ryu came around the corner and looked at Belle. Mamma Mia put me on clove duty of some of the uniforms. She did? Yeah. And it takes a little while. There was a wild ruckus last night. Stained some of the uniforms of some of the girls. Heavily. Wow, that really sucks then. It does, it does. Ryu sighed and spoke. Well, Seer must be nearby the, arena area. You can probably figure out where she is. Yeah, can probably figure out where she is. Well, see you later. Belle says, waving to his to his friend Ryu and her friend Anya. Walking away from them and looking at the purse. So, did Freya plant this or did Seer? We see in the window of, a kind of restaurant, we see four women, three of them sitting and one of them standing behind another one. So, what is the most important thing you have to get us here, Freya? Nothing much, it was more about Hylia. It was just kind of convenient that you came along. Now, be calm, you two. I have some few business deals with Freya about our deal. Another one is coming up after helping us with a little issue with my little Ryu. Yeah, that does make sense. Anything else? Yes, that was only it. It will be a quick before I have to leave. That can manage. Loki says as she looks at Freya. That was actually not saying. Hylia is sitting where Freya is in the original canon, and Freya is sitting in the middle. Well, in the middle of both of them at the, near the balcony, so she's not looking out at it. What do you need? Hylia says, looking at Freya. A few things have popped up in my investigation into the people that your member gave me. But the most concerning one is Ishtar. How so? Hylia asked as she looked at Freya. Well, a few things have been popping up. Like her perching a slave a year ago, a Renard. A rare one from the east. A Renard. Highly magical beings with rare magic. Loki says, looking at Freya. Yes, but another item has been smuggled in by Hermes. But I haven't figured out what it is. Well, that can be handled by my member. Oh, Belle. After Hylia said that, the four women looked behind Freya where Belle was sitting. Sorry to butt in, goddess. Just had a few, things to deliver. Oh my, I didn't see you there, Belle. Freya says as she looked at him. It's alright, goddess Freya. And Belle pulled out a purse and handed it over. Is this yours? Oh! Freya looked into her pockets and I forgot that. Thank you very much. Freya grabbed the purse and thanked Belle. It is no problem. That is very good of you, Belle. Now, if you excuse me, I have a festival to get to. Oh, Loki looked at eyes that looked at, well, Belle with her eyes, not moving her head or any. Eyes was looking at Belle. Can you take Eyes with you? Really? Eyes looked at Loki that smiled. Don't worry, it was just for reinsurance, that's all. Anyways, Freya was actually about to leave, weren't you? I was, don't worry about it. Freya says as she stood up and bowed to the both of Hylia and Loki. So if you don't mind taking Eyes with you so I can get on with my date. I don't want her to interrupt it. Okay then, goddess. Eyes bowed and both Belle and Eyes walked down from the balcony and downstairs and out of the cafe, with Freya leaving after some few moments of, well, saying goodbye. Well, Freya left beforehand. And after that, Eyes and Belle left. Now, Loki looked at Hylia that smiled. What do you want, dear Hylia? Oh, you know exactly what I want. But it's not appropriate here. Loki blushed heavily. You don't say that in public, Hylia. Oh, you know me, I'm more the bold type. You sure are. Loki laughed at Hylia's flirting. After, well, Eyes and Belle left, Belle was walking with Eyes down the road. Belle is wearing, by the way, his civilian clothes, the one on the right if you're looking at the screen. But he also has his huge katana on his back, just to making sure that if anything happened. No, he's wearing his short sword on his back. That's where he have his short sword on him and some few throwing knife on him as well that is poisonous. So, how much things are there here to do in Monstophilia? Belle asked, looking around the, well, area. A few stuff, I said as she walked over to a food stall. Like potato croquettes. Belle, well, seeing, I think I said that highly. Sorry. Belle has seeing the shop, I think that Hylia bought after, well, getting some money from Belle. If I haven't said it, I want Hylia to own all the fried potato stalls being owned by Hylia. So after she turned to Hylia, she bought the whole store from some of Belle's money, so she has her own income. She managed all the food items that the shop needs or anything else. The previous owners are now owned is more helpful. The previous owners that Hylia bought the shops from and the other shops she did. She has set up a kind of system where they have to buy or anything else if the stuff needed to, if they need to buy some stuff. Sorry. So after, well, Belle spotted one of the shop that Hylia owns, grabbing some few snacks from it and walking down the road, Eyes explained more about monstophilia, about how Ganesha took some monsters up and started to try to tame them. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But that was the old fun with the taming event. That do sound interesting. Belle says as she walks into the Coliseum of the whole event. Belle walking in looks at the fight after, getting some tickets. Walking in the whole fighting arena and seeing the fight going on. After seeing a man cutting off a boar's horn, Belle was kind of confused of how they tamed monsters, but didn't question it or anything else. After being there for like half an hour, Belle and Ice left the arena after some few rounds of this. Belle said it was kind of exciting, but not at the same time after some few rounds. And seeing a silverback being tamed but has to be killed after some few minutes of it while being tamed, Belle didn't really care afterwards and was walking out with Eyes and was walking into a stall area where they spotted Tiona, Tione, and Lafia greeting the girls of the Loki Familia when they were in front of them, shocking the girls, but they were surprised that Belle was there as well, so they started to talk. Give me a few moments. Alright, I'm back. After Belle and the girls started to talk, after 5 minutes of talking to them, Belle felt something weird. The ground was shaking underneath, but not as much as people could notice, but Belle felt it. Looking around for something running towards them or a horse, but nothing was moving, no horses, no nothing, it was only people walking, but the tremors underneath his feet became stronger and stronger. Belle looked around more and the girls noticed as well. What's wrong, Belle? I said as she looked at him. Get ready, something's coming. The girls looked surprised as Belle's... The girls looked surprised at Belle saying something was coming, but they didn't realize before, but after some few, seconds, the tremors, they could feel it underneath their feet. And people started to look around as well when Belle yelled out, "Move it! Something's coming!" People got shocked at the yelling and started to move away, but a stall that a merchant that was selling souvenirs or bracelets moved away from his shop, but then a plant came up, or a kind of vine monster came up and destroyed the stall, shocking everyone, but the civilians immediately rushed away. Belle and the others stood there and watched this monster coming up from the ground and looking around, with 3 others popping up as well. Move it! Get the civilians out of here! Belle immediately yelled to his group, and they started to move. Belle rushed around and helped civilians out of there, with Tione and Tiona punching away the vine snake monsters that was tried to attack people. But Eyes was cutting into them with her sword as well. Belle found the girl and grabbed her and put her another place so she wouldn't be attacked by the monsters. Belle moved around. Belle moved around as quickly as possible to get civilians out of there, with Lafia helping as well. After the civilians wasn't there anymore, Belle yelled to Lafia to get a magic chant started, and he will protect her if the monster attacks them. Belle got his sword out and was standing near Lafia so she wouldn't be attacked. When she started to chant, Belle looked around to spot anything is happening, but nothing was until the vine's attentions was on Lafia, and Belle could feel another tremor close by. "Keep chanting!" Belle yelled as he grabbed Lafia in a princess carry, shocking her, but Belle immediately jumped away from the area when a vine came up trying to stab Lafia. Belle has his hand underneath Lafia's high socks and was not touching her skin any places that he could see, so he was not trying to offend Lafia. Belle rushed around as quickly as possible, jumping from place to place and stall to stall around this makeshift arena, with Lafia chanting as much as she can. And when Belle noticed that her chant was almost done, put her down and stood in front of her to block any attack. When a vine came forward to attack Lafia, Belle punched it away, but almost broke Belle's hand. Then Belle pulled out his sword and cut into the monster. When it retreated, Lafia screamed out, with the girls coming back to Lafia and Eyes. Lafia and Belle, not Lafia and Eyes. The girls came back and stand behind Lafia when she cast a frost magic. When the frost magic was over, Belle, Eyes, Tyone, and Tyone attacked some of the vines, but around 2 were still alive in the back. And by the way, the flower's head appeared and it looks like a plant. That still happened. Belle jumping away from it, but seeing that a cloaked figure was walking down an alleyway where the plant's head was going to, Belle immediately sprinted forward and grabbed the cloaked figure in a bridal style, shocking the person that was there. Belle immediately jumped up to the wall and jumped away from the monster, landing on top of the roof where he looked down to see Eyes cutting the plant side, and jumped down with the woman in her hands. Jumping down from the roof after the monster was gone, placing down the woman, and it was Lady Freya. "Oh, Lady Freya, I didn't see it was you." "Oh, Belle. Now, mighty thank you for saving me from that monster." "Well, if I didn't dodge, that you wouldn't have been attacked." "Nah, it's quite fine. That can happen if you didn't spot me." "Quite luckily you did." I'm so sorry, still." "Don't worry about it." "Cha-cha! Ta-ta!" Freya says as she walked away from the battleground. After some few minutes, the guild and their goddesses arrived to the area, shocked about this. Belle walked around and spotted something on the ground, picking it up and looking at it, and concealed the rock in his mouth so no one could spot it. keeping the crystal under his tongue so he could talk normally. After the questions were over, Belle walked away from, the area with the group that has been formed, being Loki, Hylia, Eyes, him, Tyona, and Lufia. Walked away from it and arrived at the Starlight Garden, because that was the closest place, and walking in to have a breath with Ryu looking at them. "You're quite late to get home, goddess. Something happened in the courtyard." "That's so. Oh, and Belle," Ryu says as she picked up a book and handed it over to Belle. "This seer gave this to me. She thinks that you will find it quite useful." "What is it?" Belle looked it over and there were no name on it. Belle looked at it and put it back on the table. But Loki recognized it.
"Wait, your friend Seer gave you that?"
"Yes."
"That's a grimoire."
Belle looked at it in surprise and asked, "I've heard of the name, but not what it actually is. I just heard it was rare." "It's a magic book, Belle," I said, looking at the book as well. "It can give you any magic." "Oh. But I will do that later." But Belle pulled down the mat, opened his mouth, and took out the crystal that was under his tongue, grossing out some of the girls. One of the monsters dropped this crystal. Belle says as he, grabbed the tissue and wiped it off from his spit. "You didn't swallow it? I have a really good muscle. I have very good muscles in my mouth," Belle says as he said that, kind of making one of the Amazons smile a little. "Why are you smiling?" Belle asked as he looked at Tyona. "Oh, just that you have a good tongue muscle." Belle thought about it and just, "I'm sorry, but I'm not interested." Everyone was shocked about Belle's answer.
"Wait, what?"
"Yeah, I'm not into Garudas or Amazons. I'm sorry." "Oh man." Tyona sighed at Belle's rejection of her. "What are you interested in then?" We have to talk about the monsters, not my personal feelings about girls," Belle says as he, pointed at the crystal in his hands. Loki walked over and grabbed the tissue from there's a tissue holder so people can sneeze in tissues on the table in the living room. Loki grabbed the tissue and grabbed the crystal, not wanting to touch it when it was in Belle's mouth. "This looks not like a normal crystal." "Wait, it's not a rare kind of crystal?" Belle asked, looking at Loki. "No, a rare crystal would be perfect crystal. Like like an 8-sided dice. No, a 7... No. A 12-sided dice. That would be the perfect crystal. This is not. This looks artificial," Hylia says as she walked over to grab the crystal as well, looking it over. "This is artificial. This is not supposed to happen." Someone is messing with life again. Hylia says, looking at this crystal. Wait, again? Belle says, looking at Hylia. Yes. The monsters you experience in Hyrule are not... They're not actual living creatures with blood or anything else. They're artificial life forms. Will mutate every single time from different kind of creatures, involving itself over time as well, getting intelligence or something. It is random. Where does these monsters come from? Ice asked as she looked at Hylia. Those in Hyrule came from the oldest brother of the Olympians. Demise. Loki says, looking at the crystal. The god Demise? The evil demon Demise? Belle asked. Yes. He was once a god. In fact, Hylia's twin brother. But he got the worst of his father's tendencies. Hylia got more of their mother. After getting out and after the myth of Kronos, Hylia established her and her children, the Hylians. Demise being envious of me, Hylia says, taking over the story. Created his own life, but unperfect. Not life itself, but cruel immortality. No mind, no soul, just a body with thoughts, but no mind, no feelings, just fighting. I tried to stop him, but he created his monsters, and now they roam around Hyrule, taking what form they need to. He even corrupted one of my children's races into his corrupted version. Hylia sighed and looked away from the crystal. That's how the monsters came to be. Artificial life. Jealous of me creating Hylians. So a jealous god created life in Hyrule, but they became monsters with no soul, no mind, but still have thought of fighting. They fight Hylians so they can take control? Yes, for him to rise again. But for what Belle have told me, my brother, his soul is gone, scattered for the winds. If every single evil from him was combined, he will just be a beast, a powerful one, but just without thought or a soul. Hylia sighed and put the crystal on the table. But that doesn't mean that this one is the same. This is a cruel version of the dungeon's children. Someone is taking something from the dungeon and making these inferior copies or better version of monsters. Hylia said, looking at the crystal. So, we should destroy these crystals? Bill asked, picking the crystal up. For now, keep it in something that no one would find it. Understand? Hylia says, and Bell nodded. Bell went away from the group so no one can see where he's gonna put it. After the few minutes of talking and Tyona getting interested about the Hylian world, Bell came back and sat down on one of the couches. So, I'm curious, what is a Garuda? Tyone asked Belle when she looked at him. Oh, a Garuda? It's a female race living in the desert that can only birth females, doesn't allow men into their country. Belle just explained everything about the Garudas. So they're a Hylian version of Amazons. Pretty much. Belle says, looking at Tyone. I want to see how they're good at fighting. She says, looking up in imagination of them. I mean, they're pretty good fighters. Hell, you should meet one of my friends. She's a hella good fighter with a spear. No. Sorry about that. You should meet one of my friends. She's a hella good fighter with a great sword. Ooh. She is? Tyona this time looked at Belle. Yeah, beat my ass multiple times every time we spar. Kinda miss sparring with her now. So, would she come here? Probably not. She is... Or, wait. Yeah, maybe she would come here at one point. I mean, she is the second in line to the royal family. She's a princess? Yeah. Her older sister is the queen now. Or maybe not. I wasn't there if the coronation has... Well, if the coronation is done, so... Maybe. The older sister is the queen? Or not? I don't really know. So, what's her name? Oh, her name? Rose. Really? Her name is Rose. Yeah. Her mother's name is Riju. She decided to call her a Rose because her hair, in what I understand in birth, looked like a rose. That's what she named her. That's interesting. Well, it's probably getting late, so we should probably head back to the Twilight Manor. Loki said, standing up. Hi, Leah, it's been a wonderful date. It has. Thank you for the date, Loki. Hestia kissed Loki's lips, and Loki smiled derpily at that. Now, you girls need to go before it gets totally midnight. We don't want eyes to stay over again, would we? The girls laughed at this, and after leaving, Belle looked at the book on the table. Yeah, I should probably read this, shouldn't I? Yes, you should. Hylia says, with Belle opening the book. And after some few moments, falling asleep against Hylia's shoulders. Hylia smiled and brushed Belle's hair away from his face. Have a good sleep, my child. And that is gonna be it from this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is not the weekly episode. This was supposed to come in the middle of the week, but I got a little too late to that, and I got busy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Good morning, goodbye, farewell. See you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, my blue masks. Bye bye.